You'd think banks would want your business, but if you've ever tried to open a business account at a big bank, you already know how painful that process can be. Random fees, slow support, and apps that haven't been updated in years. When you're just trying to run your business, your bank should not be another obstacle. That's why digital-first banks like Novo and NorthOne have been getting so much buzz. Both are built specifically for small business owners, freelancers, and solo entrepreneurs. People who just want something that works. They ditch the extras, strip out the fees, and give you the tools to help, not hinder, your day-to-day operations. So I went ahead and tested both of them. Signed up, used them for my own business, and checked out every tool. And in this video, I'm breaking it all down. What they offer, where they differ, and which one is the better fit depending on how you run your business. Let's start with Novo. Novo has one of the cleanest setups out there. There's no monthly fee or minimum balance requirement, and you won't get hit with random charges later on. You can send ACH transfers, receive payments, and connect to most of the major platforms small business owners rely on. Stripe, PayPal, QuickBooks, Shopify, Xero, you name it. Everything stays in sync without extra effort. One of my favorite things about Novo is how smooth the invoicing is. You can quickly create and send unlimited invoices right from your dashboard. Plus, they'll refund up to $7 a month in ATM fees, even if you're using an out-of-network machine. The app itself is lightweight, intuitive, and honestly feels more like a productivity app than a banking app. You log in, you do what you need to do, and you're done. There's no distractions, just the essentials. Now, there are some limitations. Novo does not take cash deposits at all. So if your business deals a lot in physical cash, this could be a pain point. Also, you can't call in for support. It's all done over email or in-app chat. It's decent, but don't expect top-tier hands-on help. Still, if your business is mostly online, you invoice clients, accept digital payments, and want to avoid extra charges, Novo's got you covered. It's simple, it's clean, it knows its job, and it does it well. Now let's flip over to NorthOne. Their approach is that it's not just about making banking easy. It's about giving you the tools to actively manage your cash flow. Where Novo is minimal and frictionless, NorthOne leans more into structure. At the core of it is the envelope system. You create virtual envelopes inside your account to automatically set aside money for specific categories, like taxes, rent, payroll, or savings. I've personally been looking for this for years. It's a smart way to avoid end-of-month surprises and keep your money allocated the way it needs to be. There are two plan options with NorthOne. The standard plan is completely free. You'll get access to things like bill pay, ACH transfers, automatic payouts from platforms like Stripe and PayPal, and up to 2.5% interest on your balance. But if you're after more control and better incentives, the Plus plan costs $30 a month, and that unlocks higher interest, up to 3%, along with 1% cash back on business purchases, lower wire fees, and a dedicated support rep. One thing I really appreciate with NorthOne is how fast the deposits hit. Payouts from Stripe, PayPal, and Square show up quickly, sometimes same day, depending on the time of day. You can also deposit cash at Green Dot locations, which is something Novo doesn't offer at all, and their mobile app works great. You get categorized transactions, cash flow reports, and those envelope tools I mentioned earlier, all baked in. It feels like a budgeting tool and a bank account rolled into one. You can also create sub-accounts to help with separating different revenue streams or tracking spending across multiple projects. Now, downsides, yeah, there are a few. Some users have reported slow response times from customer service, and the fee structure can be a little bit more complicated if you're not on the Plus plan. Like, for example, you might pay $1 for paper checks or a small fee for same-day ACH. But if you're not sending wires every day, it's still a pretty cost-effective setup. So if you're thinking about giving Novo or NorthOne a try, check out the link in the description. For most of the products we talk about, we have special deals that you wouldn't be able to get if you went straight to their website. All right, so that's the side-by-side, but let's dig into a few real-world scenarios, because which one works better really depends on your business model and what you need day to day. If you're a solo creator or freelancer working entirely online with no physical storefront or cash deposits, Novo is probably the smoother fit. There's nothing to manage, no mental overhead, just get paid, pay your bills, and move on. But if you've got multiple expenses you need to keep track of, like contractors or rent, or if you just like having more control over your budgeting, NorthOne starts to shine. That envelope system really does make it easier to plan ahead and avoid scrambling at the end of the month. Where Novo's strength is simplicity, NorthOne's strength is structure. Now, when it comes to earning interest or rewards, NorthOne definitely pulls ahead, especially with the Plus plan. Up to 3% interest is a solid return on a business checking account, and 1% cash back on business expenses adds up if you're spending thousands a month on travel or software. But Novo is still the winner on the no-fee front. Everything about it is designed to keep costs as close to zero as possible. No monthly fee, no overdraft fee, no minimums. If that's your priority, it's hard to beat. There's a case to be made for both. Novo for its speed and simplicity, NorthOne for the budgeting tools and interest. If you've been frustrated by your traditional bank, maybe the fees, maybe the outdated website, or maybe just the fact that you have to physically go somewhere just to deposit a check, both of these platforms will feel like a serious upgrade. And the good news is you don't have to commit blindly. Both Novo and NorthOne make it easy to apply, and you'll usually get approved quickly. So if one doesn't quite fit your workflow, you can switch without a ton of hassle. So here's the bottom line. If you want lean, modern, no-nonsense banking that works for online-first businesses, go with Novo. But if you want smarter budgeting tools, interest on your balance, and a bit more hands-on support, NorthOne is probably the better choice. Whichever one you choose, your money is FDIC insured, and you're moving away from outdated systems and into a setup that actually supports how a modern business is run. If you're thinking about giving either one a try, check out the links in the description. We usually have special offers you won't find directly on their sites. If this helped narrow it down, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And if you've used Novo or NorthOne yourself, I would love to hear your experience in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.